It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Rams and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
With the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you in. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
Back to throw, Stafford. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Chidobe with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV. It was 3rd down. Defensively, they was able to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got it on the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Joseph Osai in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they got to find a way to get it back together.
He's going to air it out deep for Woods. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. A big play there for L.A. Well, he's been doing this for more than a decade now, showing that he's still got that arm strength from back when he was the #1 overall pick.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this? I'll bet that won't be the last time we see them take a deep shot in this game.
Stafford on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got Higbee complete right side. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 82 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson. Touchdown, Rams! Van Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. A drive that time of 6 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 25 carries, 88 yards and a touchdown.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. T. Higgins was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Play action. It's Burrow. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does. And we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jay Tufele able to record his 5th sack of the season. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
A huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Meanwhile, Stafford's throw pulled in by Jefferson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Oh, nice move. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces, because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team, and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week, now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The return man is Graham. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. A big play there for Cincinnati.
For a quarterback, there's 2 sides to this coin. Either he had complete faith that his guy would go up and get the ball, or his throw was up for grabs. Which one do you think he'll tell the coach when he goes to the sidelines?
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that ball incomplete. He couldn't work free from his defender, and now it's 3rd down.
Big 13. Big 13.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Bass is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And the L.A. offense ready for this next possession. Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Stafford. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
They go play action with Burrow. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now, Burrow. And this one's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He'll rifle this one deep right side.
And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The football going back to the Rams now. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind. It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Here's a run with Akers on second down.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now a run with Akers.
Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On second down now, Akers. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Rosa's kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort, because you have a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. After the sack on 1st down, Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Now it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
And now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Stafford. Right side complete. That's Woods. A gain of 6 there on 1st. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
That's the way to get it going, boy.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
On 1st down at Stafford.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And that is incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Well, if my calculations are correct here, and I think that they are, he's now over 55,000 career passing yards.
Well, you did get a fine education in the Midwest, my friend, so I know that that happened, okay? I know those Butler Bulldogs very proud of what they sent out there, so I'm trusting your numbers. 55,000 yards? Wow. I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was already in the top 10. Now he just keeps climbing toward the top. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score a touchdown.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
L.A. readies for its next possession.
And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. Over the middle and complete to the tight end, Higbee. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Stafford. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Flush to his right. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Burrow. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. The LA defense up the snuff in coverage there. Pushes this to fourth down. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Airing it out deep for Woods. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Robert Woods with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams have broken our tie as they take the lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
Rosas to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Joe Mixon and the Bengal offense ready to go back to work. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And Burrow going to throw again. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
And, Charles, they trail here, though not really the fault of this offense.
No, they certainly did their part in the first half. But when you're in a shootout like this, you definitely want your defense to play better, but you know that's out of your control. All you can do, keep putting points on the scoreboard and keep giving your defense opportunities to make stops.
And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, it doesn't matter where you put him, lined up in the backfield or split out like he was there. He can be a weapon when he gets that ball in his hands. Mixon is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown.
So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
The extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that will tie our game here in the third. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter.
Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective, because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
On first down, they'll start out with Akers.
Tough running, but not a lot to show for it. They stop him shy of the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
The dynamic duo is doing damage in this one, and they've certainly been on point throughout. And they hook up again for another big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Stafford now to throw.
That's into the hands of Akers, complete.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on first down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up second and third down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Akers. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Stafford. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Joseph Osai.
He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys who try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Back to Mixon on second down. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So third down, and defensively the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. Burrow will throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Woods. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. To throw, Stafford. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The Bengals set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out in the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
Here we go.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Burrow. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now Joe Burrow on 3rd and long. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked somewhere else, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Stafford. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. Airing it out deep for Woods. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown! Van Jefferson. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Rams have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Cincinnati set to take over once again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
So right now what I'm seeing an offense just firing off the ball a lot quicker than they can react. And not only that, they're sustaining the blocks too. I'm seeing guys get 6-7 yards downfield before there's even a hint of contact.
Good job. Here we go. That boy stepping up.
First down. Here's Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. There's a nice touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th of the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Rams ready to go on offense. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Going right back to Akers. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end. Any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
That's out to the flat for Akers. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, that's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After the interception, here's Stafford.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Good hands there defensively. That's second down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford to the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. On first down at Stafford. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, as we all know, possessions are crucial in a tie game. And let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
On second down now, Akers. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And the question now, can they get closer on third down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder. From the gun, here's Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Stafford on first down. He'll dump this off to Akers. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
At the 28-yard line.
Now Stafford. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Dio Odengbo in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end was a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on third down. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into the wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down. Certainly understand what they're doing there. Third and long draw play, but it did not work out.
And you can certainly hear the thought process, too. People are thinking, why are you running it there? You've got to throw the football. But sometimes you catch the defense napping. You take a little bit of a chance there. It just didn't work in this case.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. Rosa's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. And he rifles one incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right on the 30. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Rams now coming out on the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. On 1st down, Stafford here. This one to the left to Higbee. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From just shy of midfield, Stafford. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jay Tufele in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a play fake it at Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. Offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You've got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion each time they go at each other.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Out of the gun, Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and goal at the Bengals 4-yard line.
Now Stafford. He's got it. It's Higbee. Touchdown Rams. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Rams add on to their lead. Well, that's certainly an important touchdown there and makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that can win the game for us.
Rosas to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Grant sets to return it. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a throw here to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Burrow. To Mixon on the check down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll bring up a second down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 94 yards on the ground for him so far. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Here's Higgins out on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards, the pickup there. From the 39, Burrow. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mixon. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks. The job one to pick up the 1st down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the 1st down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. From the 29, Burrow. He hits his target, the tight end Adams. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 15-yard line. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
11 MT, Kate. 11 MT.
They hand it off to Mostert. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
2 yards on the pickup.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Burrow. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The kick by Bass is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position with all 3 timeouts. I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll go again here with Akers. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So Burrow and the Bengals down by 7. A little over a minute and a half remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Burrow. Connecting with Mixon. That catch good for only a couple. Burrow. Fights through him. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Here's Burrow. Pass complete to Higgins. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. Throwing, Burrow. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked up by Troy Pride. And the Rams have just about sewn up this football game. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his 2nd one.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an off